Hello everybody, it's Terrence Pop. What's another episode from the lair? And today I'm doing a response piece to another article from the Daily Mail, which is from the UK, go figure. And this is an actual article that was responding to Where Have All the Good Men Gone? Well, they got such an outpour of pissed off dudes, they decided to write this article a year and a half later. Of Where Are All the Good Women? A link will be in the low bar. Basically, they interviewed five middle-aged guys, and they basically recanted or, stomped on a lot of the bullshit that was brought up in the first article, Where Are All the Good Men, in regards to them being fat, lazy, unkept, blah, blah, blah. Okay, even if they were, who gives a shit? But the five guys in this particular article are just normal dudes. The first guy, I think he's 57, 58. His wife burned in. I mean, that's a bummer, but, it is what it is. People, kick their addiction. They have arguments with physics. They get involuntarily elected to leave their meat suit, and shit goes awry. I mean, what are you going to do? And all five of these men came up with some of the same things that I've already talked about, but I'm going to bring it up here. They basically said it's not that there are no good men out there, there's just no good women out there. I have to agree with that. There probably are onesie-twosies out there, but the way the laws are in the world today, it's just not worth looking for them. There's too much at stake. It's a fool's errand. They also made the comment that many of these women are divorced and full of bitterness. That goes both ways, number one. And number two, 70% of these women are filing for divorce. And that stat's pretty much the same in America as it is over in England, and I think it's a little lower in the UK. I'm not sure. I have to actually brush up on that one. Another thing they brought up is these women are too picky and they're demanding divas. Like I said before, they want the guy to be in shape, athletic, or have assets, be nice, and what have you. If he's that age, if he's, has all that shit, he's pulling up in front of the house of a 33-year-old woman, not a 43-year-old woman. Sorry. Let's see. Here's another, and this is totally true because I've had this happen to me. They treat dates like a job interview. And that's why I came up with Dating Disparages. Because for some reason, I don't know who tells them this or if there's a special secret class they go to, but they know how to strategically ask questions and within a 30-minute to an hour time frame be able to box you in and be fairly accurate. That box they put you in, that's inside the 50-meter window, and they can fire for effect. They're going to know pretty much plus or minus 20% how much you gross. They'll ask questions in regards to your retirement, your relationship with your mother, you get along with your ex-wife, what happened to cause the divorce, and so forth. I mean, and they do it in a very, I want to say nonchalant way, or they do it in ways that most men don't pick up on it right off the bat. And that's why I came up with some of the counter questions. Like when they ask you about your retirement, you can say, what is the serving temperature of a pork roast? Or name 3 spices in a spaghetti sauce. How do you make cinnamon toast? Stuff like that. And they get all, if they get offended, fuck them, we'll get up, walk away. Because they're not worth it anyway. So it is what it is. A lot of these women out there are preaching feminism, and I don't need a man, and women need a man like a fish needs a bicycle. And a lot of these women are spouting this fucking horse shit while living a comfortable lifestyle that a man is paying for. Go figure. If that isn't, the pot calling the kettle black, I don't know what the fuck is. Let's see. Oh, and here's another one here. They brought this up too. Basically, a lot of the men out there have already had their pocket ripped off. I think we talked about that. And they don't have any money left, thus they're not liquid. They aren't solvent, soluble, whatever the fuck you want to call that. But sorry, ladies, by the time you get to middle age and you want to redo, a lot of times the guys you want to get have already been fleeced. Or You know, all the low-hanging ripe fruit is now gone. It fell to the ground, and now you have to pick up apples off the ground and decide which ones you want, which ones you don't. And one might have a worm in it. Who knows? Do I care? Not really. Okay, and another man brought this up. A vast majority of these women meet and expect the man to pay for all of the expenses and the dates. Well, if these women are so feminazied and, you know, they're equal to men, why the fuck can't they pick up the check once in a while or go Dutch? A lot of women, if you sit down the first time you meet them and go, hey, we'll split it 50-50, they'll agree and you'll never see them again. This is the truth. They brought up the thing, women relentlessly focus on money. Relentlessly focus on money. I had to say it twice. I've brought this up many, many times in my past videos that a lot of these women out there, they expect they're going to walk in, they're going to have the house, the 2 cars, maybe a cottage, a boat, and all the other bullshit, and all they have to do is bring an old vagina. I don't think so. These dudes aren't paying full retail for that shit. And you're not going to walk in and get an owner interest in that guy's fucking livelihood. And any man that does is an idiot. Any dude out there who watches this video, who's been married more than one time and divorced, you know this is true. Come on. Oh, here's a good one. One of the men found women to be jealous and too pushy and demanding. Like getting pissed off at the dude's daughters because they're taking up his time, they're taking his resources, he shouldn't have to take care of them, they're adults. You know, I heard it all, I've seen it all. You know, if you're dating a woman and she has a problem with your kids and it gets nasty, just draw a red line through her name, delete her from your phone, boom, let Darwin and karma do its magic. Here's another one of these observations from these 5 guys. The first date sales pitch. This is basically inexperience. Younger guys do this a lot. You say you're 19 to 25 and you go on a date with a woman that's, you know, fairly attractive and you're attracted to her. You might put it on too thick and, try to box it in or, basically try to get it exclusive rights to that. And you throw off an air of desperation. Women, they have like an ESP that picks that shit up. I mean, I fell victim to it in the past. But men, we can pick it up too, but it takes us longer to read the signals. So by the time it gets about 40 to 50, you meet a woman and she sits down and she starts acting squirrely. And in the back of your head, you're like, hey, the drum is banging a little bit too hard in this woman's fucking brain pan. I think I'm going to have to bow out and, ask for the check and leave. Okay, here we go. Now, this first article really didn't bring in any psychotherapists or any other bullshit. But this second one, it not only brings in 1, but 2. It's also written by a chick. So this whole article is kind of skewed a little bit towards the women and kind of makes the men look kind of shitty. It's just my opinion. That's what I got. You guys can read it for yourself. Okay. So the psychotherapist's name is Teresa Wilson. Teresa Wilson basically stating, men and women come to the dating world with 2 entirely different perspectives. Okay. 2 different sexes, 2 different perspectives. But I thought they were the same. Apparently they're not. But okay, we'll move on. See, this is kind of bullshit. Women, being so independent, the outlook and behavior, they're less worried. Bullshit. They know that curtain is coming down, and they hit the wall around 35. A couple wheels got ripped off. They know that thing is going to roll forward much longer, and sooner or later they're going to be stuck on the side of the road of life, and everyone else passing them by, and they're all by themselves. Like I said, 40 to 80 is a long fucking time. Okay, she's also saying that men are more likely to have come from a relationship that they would have rather have kept, which falls in line with the stat that 70% of women out there file for divorce. Now, I don't know of any studies that actually measure women breaking up with men other than divorce, but I'm sure it's probably pretty close. Okay, again, this is another valid point she brought up. Women don't feel trapped in bad relationships, and they found liberation in the past 20 years. Actually, it goes back into the late 60s. And it really took off with a no-fault divorce. So, yeah, women have all the liberation they want. They can, leave whenever they want, cut the cord, jump the fence, whatever they fucking do. Sooner or later, karma and time is catch up to them, and it's a flat ambush bitch. Again, this is that psychologist talking, the first one. Men like stability of a home life provided for them, quote unquote, provided for them. Even though they're making the fucking money, usually they're making more money than the women, and they fucking earned it. They like their creature comforts. Maybe they want a steak. Maybe they want to fucking have a good dinner and watch the game without you running your goddamn suck hole. It's not that complicated. She also brings up another point that men really don't know how to cope, and usually they like to go immediately into another relationship. There's a lot of stats that back this up, that a lot of dudes get married within the first 3 years after divorce because they're kind of used to the home life. They've been pussy whipped, and they really don't know what to do with themselves once they're free of the backpack of pussy they have to carry around for the first half of their lives. So you got a lot of women out there asking where all the good men have gone. Well, if you find yourself with a few things going on, like you don't cook, you don't clean, and you don't suck dick, you've answered your own question where all the good men have gone. They're at their house that's clean, just ate a great dinner, and they're smiling ear to ear because they're going to get their dick sucked that night. That's where all the good men have gone. Ha ha! Bam! What the fuck is this shit? So the second psychosexual couples therapist, she basically says men are unable to cope with new dating landscape, which has made everyone pickier. Yes and no. Okay, women are basically picky on their own. They don't need a computer program to make it any worse. But men, you put up your parameters, 25, 40, must be thin, athletic, or regular, or whatever they want to call it, normal, which is usually fat, but it's supposed to be normal. And everything else gets cut off, and you get to 3 options. It is what it is. Is it picky? Kinda. It's kind of like the swipe left or swipe right crap, or Tinder, or whatever the fuck you call it. It's made the dating and relationships in the current time frame incredibly punishing. That's just me. For the most part, men don't give a shit about her income. They don't give a shit about where she works. It doesn't fucking matter. What they do care about is she pretty? Does she have a lot of fucking baggage? Because guess what? A lot of guys, especially nowadays, are done dealing with baggage and drama. Kids come along in the equation. Kids have baby daddies. Baby daddies cause problems. And it is what it is. And you're always going to get the "you're not my daddy" bullshit. So just fucking, X out single mothers for the most part. Cut them loose. We also, it matters to us if you can cook and clean and you're kind of fucking nice. Alright? If you can't cook, you can't clean, and you're not nice to be around, why the fuck am I investing time and money into you? Why? There you go. Alright, we talked about the blame the computer code logic, blah, blah, blah. Men, the computer is what makes men picky, but women are picky of their own accord. There you go. Alright, now, I brought up the 7, 13, 21, and 24. One of the men in this article is named Alex Cadavis, age 41. He shacked up, met a chick, married her in 07. They had a kid, and basically cut him loose in 2014, 2015. Basically, right there at the 7-year window, and usually that happens when your usefulness is done. She doesn't want you around. She only wanted you around to have kids. Once the kids came around and she decided she didn't want to have any more, boom, right off at the knees, you're paying for support for the rest of that kid's, until that kid turns 18 to 21. I don't know how they do in England, but, here in America, some states, you can get it extended while they're in college. I don't know if they do that in England or not, but it's kind of shitty. Again, he came up with a lot of the same shit. Pushy, rushed, basically said he didn't make enough money, and she was basically shopping for a wallet. Okay, now he's in the entertainment industry, I guess, trying to be an actor. Who knows? He might land that big role, and guess what's going to happen there, Mr. Cadavis or Cavadis, whatever your name is? You're going to get some slingbacks. That always fucking happens. Usually anywhere between 5 to 10 years. You lose a lot of weight, make some money, inherit money, or your status changes radically. They always come back. It's like flies on shit. I'm telling you, I've seen it 1,000 times. Okay, now she brought up some psychobabble about instant sex and porn, mucking up the waters. I don't really buy into that. Both of those things were basically fueled by feminism, and now they're bitching about it. And I really don't give two shits. Fuck them. Okay, this guy, Jamie Klaus, 27, he's gone MGTOW red pill. Okay, it's mentioned in the article. He said, fuck it. He got monkey branch one too many times. Done with the whole deal, and he's done. Now, he's still young. He's only 27. So, a lot of guys on the younger side really don't go MGTOW permanently. Sooner or later, I'm gonna tell you right now, some chick's gonna come around with the right size, the dial and pegs, and a bumper to match in the back, and he's gonna be all up in that shit. And he's gonna take his chances on the 7, 13, 21, 24 wheel of karma. Okay, now in this article, they bring up that MGTOW started in the 1970s. Now, I don't really know the history of MGTOW and the red pill philosophy. I do know about the He-Man Woman Haters Club from the Little Rascals from back in the day. So that was like way back in like the late 20s and 30s. So for them to say that the whole MGTOW red pill thing was from the 70s, I don't think so. I think it fell into the red pill philosophy after the Matrix movies because it kind of made a lot of sense. You take the red pill and you learn how shit really is, or you take the blue pill and you keep living in blissful ignorance. Well, obviously a lot of guys out there, and I'm not the only one, and this guy learned early, this is Jamie Klaus, got his clock cleaned one too many times, and he said, what the fuck am I doing? How many times do I have to turn the crank on the spank box that kicks me in the ass before I learn not to turn the fucking crank? There you go. All right, and the final guy, Ross Fode. That's a weird name. Ross Fode, age 29. Again, another MGTOW. Okay, apparently it's filtering down into the younger guys. That's exactly where I wanted to go. And again, he's basically MGTOW because, he wants to focus on himself. He wants to focus on his career. And he should. Totally. Focus on yourself. Focus on your career. Get your fucking shit squared away. Pay your dues now when you're young. Because guess what? When you're 40, 45, a lot of these women are still going to be around. But they'll all be played out. You can go for a younger chick. And the ones that didn't have time for you, you don't have time for them. Fuck them. So yeah, I think that's valid. You should focus on yourself, bro. Okay, and again, they have the psychobabble. Men are being sensitive and not processing rejection well. Where women can brush it off, get back up, and get back in the game. Yeah, they can because it's called the cock carousel. Women are programmed to betray. They are programmed to look for resources. They never really get in there and emotionally pair bond with a man because they're pretty much all failed the dick stacking test by the time they're 21. What are you going to do? I mean, by the time she's got, between 4 to 7 cocks in her, the chances of pair bonding are very, very slim. I wouldn't say very slim. They're diminished. You do the math, number of cocks times 6, put a platform at that height, push her off it. If sure to be killed or hurt, that's too many cocks. And hit it, quit it, run it through all the gears, neutral slam it, and then park stop it right in the Section 8 housing where you found it. Except when you park it, it may or may not be dribbling a little fluid. I'm just saying, So anyway, this article actually opened my eyes a lot in regards to the red pill MGTOW philosophies. Spontaneously, a lot of these younger guys are seeing the same shit that's going on earlier, and thank God they are. Because 34 is the age when the big head overpowers the little head. And between 18 and 34 is one hell of a fucking rough ride for a lot of dudes until they can unfuck this whole craziness. And if they could pick up on this at 26, 27-ish, 29, before they make a lot of these fatal errors that they wind up paying for the next 2 fucking decades, well, good on them. In regards to MGTOW and the Red Pill, there are no leaders, there are no spokesmen for the movement. It's a phenomenon that's taken place basically by itself. I'm not pushing the agenda. Nobody's pushing the agenda. We're just talking about it. And I'm going to go into this more in actually a Friday episode when I talk about marriage contracts, and how there's basically no benefit for men anymore because it's been gutted by feminism. And I'm going to go point by point and prove it. So anyway, I hope this isn't too disjointed. I mean, it was kind of hard to keep up. They jumped around a lot. They talked to 5 different guys, and then they brought in these 2 psychobabble bitches. One of them, their name I don't even fucking remember. So it is what it is. So, gentlemen, just keep your rubbers close. Don't leave them in position. Don't take any shit, and run out the fucking door. You have a good day.